But if you make me know it, I go please me. Back to me and I tell me no, but she not mean it. Deep down, neatly, me know she freaky. The magnum a bustin' her red now. Pretty little thing and she not come from town. Move towards
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Welcome back, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is 9:24. And welcome back to Activated Mornings. This morning is on Talk to Me, our open forum. If you may release, I was confused because she didn't have on our headphones as yet.
I'm sorry, right? So I just remembered when I looked up and I saw
I can't hear nothing in my head.
it can't hear anything. Come, Ari, fix it.
Thank you, Ari.
Fix it, Father.
This one?
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So looking up and seeing your new hairstyle, right?
Now the world don't have a new hairstyle. Boy, why all the people stuff so?
Well, we just be like,
Jeez. Regular, you know.
And then the listeners don't know.
We like,
But the
Radio Land.
viewers know.
oh,
The listeners don't know.
so when I have my new hairstyle and you come in here, oh, Harry, you got hairstyle.
That's not me, that's
All right.
Anne. Blame Anne. It's Anne. who
Wow.
has
Yeah. So it took me back to the conversation outside. I don't know if I should mention it with back in the day versus now. So I just remember what you said and I laughed.
No, because okay. Good morning to everybody. First up, my niece was wondering if I was okay on account of Christal. So yes, Jojo, we switched days. Okay, she was wondering if I was okay.
Oh.
Actually, how feelings. My mother was wondering if I was okay. She put Jojo. Anyway, good morning to everybody, and I hope that you guys had a great weekend. Yes. So so I decided to braid my hair. Right, first time since about 2007, I braided my own hair. And the reason being is that I started to go natural last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not remember this natural hair thing being so difficult.
Please
Because
tell me and Christal about it.
When I grew
I'm
up,
intrigued.
no, because when I grew up, right, all you used to use was blue soap in your hair to wash your hair.
That's why I laughed.
Right? And then you used to use normal Vaseline, like children Vaseline, that you put on diaper rash and that kind of thing. That's what it is. You grease or moisturize your hair with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have all kind of products out there, and all my hair doing is breaking.
Oh.
So I just feel like I
no.
need to, Ari, stop it. I just feel like I need to go back to using the blue soap and the Vaseline because that works and I never had a problem.
All the best.
Yeah.
We'll follow your journey.
No, but a serious note, like when you're growing up, it was just like the Blue Magic. That was it. And you
Right.
shampoo maybe with VO5 a little bit, okay, a little
Now
fancy.
you have this, you have that, you have so many things. And I don't know, I think it's like for me, I did not expect natural hair to be this difficult. And you know, there's this transition stage where I call it the ugly stage. Now, I'm not saying having natural hair makes you ugly, but there's the transition stage of turning the relaxed hair, getting your hair length back to what it's supposed to have been, you know, and it's just the whole process. And I just got tired.
It's not easy. I am of the firm belief that relaxers change the texture of your hair.
Possibly.
And
Possibly. Ari, can you relate to this conversation?
Joshua says you
Relaxes.
You look good.
Hey,
releasing.
thank you, Joshua. Morning.
yeah, I'm serious. I really think it does because like I know my hair tough, but geez, boy, that transition
tough?
period.
Your hair ahead. You're trying to say hair ahead, Ari. Which one are you trying to say?
Huh? No, she
Hair.
said her hair
Yeah,
tough.
but
My hair
what
tough.
do you want
My hair
to
was
say?
always tough.
I didn't say Lord. I just repeat
I know what
you
is going. I know what is going. But then, like, okay, so in your older age, when you want to retransition again, then you'll have to learn about porosity, and then there's the shampoo, the pre-wash, the co-wash, the conditioner, the deep cleansing, the
I don't have time for all of that. I legit don't have time for all of that.
And
I
then you have
just
to
want
oil.
to. I just want to be able to put my hair in one and go about my business.
And the silk bonnet.
I feel like men when women discussing skincare routine, like, oh, you have to do all of that.
And man just using a blue soap, a literal blue soap.
To
And gone
wash
about their
face, to
business.
bathe skin, to do everything.
Everything.
Yeah, man, just use one thing.
Maybe
Life is
maybe
good.
it's what they put
Life is
in
good.
the products as preservatives that's ending up drying out your hair to make it worse.
I don't know.
It could also be
tired.
diet too, because you know your diet would influence your healthy
But-
skin nails. So
This morning we talking bigamy. Bigamy.
bigamy.
And why do you sound this excited?
Bigamy.
Men generally are excited
I
by the
know.
thought of
Bigamy.
multiple women.
I am not.
They are excited.
You
by
sound
the, no,
that
no,
way.
Hold on, by the
I like the
thought
topic.
of multiple women or having multiple women.
I like the topic.
The thought of having multiple
Because it
women
goes
and the
both
act of-
ways. Oh, very good.
I like the topic, right? And the reason why I like the topic, right,
Jeez, I'm good.
is because a 52-year-old man called Rajiv. I'm kidding. I'm
Which
kidding.
is
A 52-year-old.
Oh my
well,
God.
there's so
Rajiv.
many things
I
about
want,
this
I want
searchlight
to send
article.
you a loyal letter.
This article is so hilarious to me. A 52-year-old man charged with bigamy. So, and this is so petty by all of the media houses. All the petty.
What is it?
A 52-year-old unemployed man of diamond who is
Why
seen
is
to
it
have
petty?
been.
No, because you know, Ari, no, Ari, don't give me that look. Because you know, if he was a 52-year-old laborer, they were going to put 52-year-old.
Well,
What
with
you
the
mean?
charge,
Come
with
on.
the charge,
Come
with
on.
the charge. Listen,
No, you can't
all
be
you
highlighting the fact that he's
all you
unemployed and then
leave,
mentioning it.
Collins James, I really do hope you find a job. But you are charged
that was his
on
job,
March
marrying women.
27, 2020. Oh gosh, we ain't even had the facts of the case. And
Didn't
charged
he
him
marry
with
two
the
women? That's the fact.
yeah, but that's not his job.
He married or tried to get married.
No, he
too.
married
He married.
in February.
So police said, according to the investigation, the accused allegedly did an act that is more than merely preparatory to the commission of an offense by arranging a wedding ceremony between himself and a 50-year-old nurse of Glen or New York.
You
The
could have
offense-
doubt, you know.
You could
Why?
leave in New York, Pat.
No, it's important for the
Oh, it
for
is?
context of the
It
story.
is,
Yeah.
okay, uh-huh.
The offense was alleged to have been committed on February 7, 2024 at 12:50 p.m. in Glenmore. Tell all about
That was
that.
say you could have leave out that fact. You know.
James appeared at the Kingston Magistrate Court on March 27, 2024, where he pleaded not guilty to the charge. He can't plead not guilty. Anyways, he was granted bail in the sum of $3,000 with one surety, and is to have no contact with the
You can't be serious. Come on, man.
Report him. That is
The
crazy.
first one?
Yes.
Duh.
Why would she report? Anyway, he
Why
was for
wouldn't
the
she?
order to report his stuff. Blah, blah, blah. We don't care about the rest part. What I think is funny, right, is that the Searchlight newspaper
Oh Lord.
put a picture of a white guy making study cheap by two white
Yeah,
women.
because they can't
Listen.
find a picture of the black people.
I'm so happy to see white people painted in a bad light. And it sounds bad to admit it. But you know, usually when there's anything negative, when there's a negative stereotype, it's black, Latino, Indian. They find a lot of people who are not white. So it's funny for me to see this.
Man, Search, I could have found a picture of a man with two women. That's
They
all
could
they
have
have to do.
they could have shout out to Searchlight this morning and
But
big
then
up
that's not a correct representation
Yeah.
either.
It is not, but I
unless he's
love
white.
it.
Unless he's white.
Love it.
But going back to 52 and unemployed, like, did he forget that he was married? Or did he was he
I
under the
don't-
impression that he wasn't married anymore?
I am literally invested in this story. Could we arrange an interview with the person? Because no, I
You think they have a
invested-
Facebook page?
I
I
don't
mean-
think it makes sense to have an interview before the case. Thing
Well,
because
I
then it will be
kind of
limited.
joking-ish, but no, the reason why I'm invested in it is because I'm trying to find out the details behind it. As Christal is asking, did he
It'll come
forget
out
he
in
was
court.
married, or was it a case where him and his ex-wife, let's say they were separated for a good amount of years? Maybe he wanted a divorce and she didn't grant it to him. So he probably thought that, you know, whatever it may have been forgotten in the system or whatever the case is, you know.
No,
I
but-
really am invested
No, but we
in the
don't.
story.
The thing is, we could only speculate because there isn't information on this. But
Yeah.
we know that, and this is why I pointed out that she's a nurse in Glen/New York. You know that usually when there are people in America, they usually marry their partner, their spouse, whatever, to take them back to the States
Right.
with them. Now, I know of different situations where people from different countries get married and they remarry in other countries without divorcing in the country that they
got married in.
because
Right.
in some countries, because of religion, their religious beliefs, is very difficult and tedious to get a divorce. Now, I don't know the process here in Simmons and the Grenadines, but I do believe that this man probably had plans of
Of
moving to the
relocating.
States, and that is why he got married.
Divorce.
And I believe, but we don't know if his wife, we don't know if his wife is granting him the divorce.
right.
And then the fact that it's reported means, so we have to get the facts to really understand
I
it,
read
but we
that.
can't just
that
look at it
doesn't
as,
negate the unlawful nature of the act.
oh yeah, it is against the law. It is against the law, but
Is it with Christal watching?
we have to look. We have to go back to the origin of bigamy. So the offense was first created by a statute of James around 1603, and had its origins as a legal offense derived from societal and religious moral concerns that the actions constituting the offense were to dishonor God and would be a detriment to the children of a marriage. So especially around those times, persons did not believe in divorce. You get married, you
Come
go
on,
all
man.
the way through. Sometimes people fornicating, but then I think around this time you're not fornicating, committing adultery. I think you're charged with
Charged with
adultery, and
fornication. Go ahead.
some people could face some very harsh penalties for it.
Mm-hmm.
But given that this was in 1603,
Oh Lord, no.
Wait, I want to hear him finish. I want
no,
to hear
given
him
that
finish
this
his
happened in
thought.
1603, don't you think that, like, based on technicality? So let's say in my theory, where he's trying to get divorced and he's trying to move to another country. In a case like that, is he really, like, should he really face the full penalties of the law if it is that this is the case?
Well,
Yes.
the law is the law.
Yeah.
And you know what they
The law
say?
is the
Ignorance
law.
of the law is no
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
I do understand where you're coming from in terms of being held hostage. Like your life is being held hostage by somebody who, for whatever reason, does not want to grant you the divorce. But the law is the law.
Isn't there a way around that though?
So
legally.
I don't know.
why do you guys frown on it?
From
Frown
what?
on
Bigamy?
what?
Yes.
That's a serious question.
Yes. Because back in the days,
Don't back in the day.
I
me,
wasn't
I am not
born back in the
living.
days.
I am not living back in the day. I'm living today.
I was not born
and
back in the days.
nobody
Harry.
sharing nothing with nobody.
listen,
So
Me
if
and my
it's- so if
husband
it's
will share a
bigam-
meal.
So if it's bigger, if it's bigamy in the context of a woman, would you be okay with that?
me, I don't care.
Me and my two husbands. Ching, ching, ching.
But,
But
it
I
have
mean,
people
in
living like
reality,
that. It have people living
so,
like that.
So it's okay
you remember
once
that
it's
story from St.
understood.
Lucia?
Hmm?
You remember that story from St. Lucia some time ago?
With what?
That was
No.
trending really heavily on social media
With what?
with the guy who was living with, I think, two girls.
Hmm.
Oh, and everybody thought it was hair. Okay, no.
No.
I'm not familiar
I know
with
about
that.
Let's go back. Oh,
Yeah.
But I have a
that
friend.
was
I have a friend that
situation.
is from I'm trying to remember if it's South Africa or the Kingdom of Eswatini, but somewhere in that South African region.
Hmm.
And she is a product of gosh, now I forget the name. What's the name of that when a man has many wives?
Polygamy.
Polygamy. She's a product of polygamy. There's they live in the
But
same
that's the
yard.
thing,
There's
so
like
it's
3 houses.
Right. So in
Yeah.
that culture, it's understood. But in our culture,
Nope.
in terms
But-
of marriage, no. In terms of relationships, it's probably something different. But in terms of marriage, it's no.
But I don't know. I think it's very interesting when you dissect it because
Situation.
if that if that is
You know what Christal say?
no if that is the case in South Africa, and although we're really
Oh, don't
East
give me
African
that.
based, is it
Remember the same
Not
conversation that you
our
and Christal
culture?
had this morning?
Yeah.
Remember,
Is it
we
not
have
our
been
culture?
indoctrinated into Christianity. So
most
we grew
most
up.
of us.
All right, King
Mm.
Ari.
Most of us.
I was gonna say King Julius.
No,
Most of us.
So, but that's the thing. But remember this whole cheating thing as well too. Black West Indian men love to say it's part of my culture, it's part of my heritage when they want to have
Convenient.
a reason to cheat. But that's not the society in which you grew up in. Don't give me that look. You've
Hmm?
never said that.
No, I never
Convenient.
said that.
Very
You know,
good.
it's
I'm
funny
happy to hear
that
that.
it's funny, right?
Hmm.
You got not. Let me not say you guys. There are some guys who want to attach themselves to only specific parts of the
Of a
African
right.
culture, right?
There's some people,
But-
anyways. Continue.
Right? You wanna attach yourself to specific parts, but you don't want to talk about the music. You don't want to talk about the food that you eat. You don't want to eat fufu. Is fufu it's called?
Mhm.
The thing you don't want to eat
Mhm.
cassava. You don't want to do and practice a lot of the religious beliefs, but you want to have more than one woman, justifiably so. If you want to be in a position where, okay, I am an African and I do this and I want to have the ability to have more than one wives, then adopt the entire culture. Don't pick and choose what you want from it.
Well, I think it's the same for Christianity. I think it's the same for Christianity.
I bet you go and live in the culture.
Because
Move
this
right
is,
back to Africa.
as it says, societal and religious moral concerns, and they believe that it would dishonor God. But how many men in the Bible had more than one wives? How many kings?
I ain't one of them.
But
this and that?
also,
If you feel that way
no.
about Africans, you feel this way about Christianity too.
But also, what are the guiding principles for our lives? Isn't it the 10 Commandments?
What's the Ten Commandments? The Ten Commandments said nothing about not
adultery.
being able to have.
It doesn't say nothing about. It doesn't say something
it
about
does-
adultery.
What
Adultery
adultery
and
is going
fornication.
out of your marriage. Fornication is having sex outside of marriage.
Correct.
But if you have 3 or 4 marriages, is it adultery and fornication?
It is
How?
Marriages.
because it's more than one.
Hey.
It's more than
Anyways,
one.
Remember
it's
Moses
against the
came
law.
before Solomon, eh? So what you're telling me?
Listen, let's not go too deep into the Bible. I just talked about the 10 Commandments. That's the best I can
No,
do.
that's why I say
so let's not
if
go
we
too
have any
deep.
argument, if this is how you feel about Africans and this, then we have to have the same argument about Christianity. No, it just happens in St. Vincent it's against the law, and he did commit a crime.
Mm-hmm.
But I really thought he probably thinks that, again, based on my theory, that he's trying to migrate, that nothing would
So
have come of it.
for economic and maybe social reasons.
Yeah, and we do not know if they were separated and not divorced. There are a
Well,
lot of
that's it,
people here
right.
separated and not
and
divorced.
that is what I think is the problem, because I always hear people say it's so much easier to get married than it is to get divorced, because it's so many things that they have to go through in order just to be able to be granted a divorce, you know. So I really don't know what the circumstances are here.
Listen.
And this is why I'm kind of invested in the conversation and the topic, because I want to know the basis behind it.
Just a few weeks ago, right? I was having a conversation with a Mexican woman, and she said she had gotten married in Mexico. She migrated to a Caribbean country, and she remarried in the Caribbean country, but she is still going through the divorce process back in Mexico because of religious beliefs. There's a lot of paperwork, and then she's not in the country. I think so. And she's not in the country, and all of these things are included. So we can't really watch stories like this in a one-dimensional way. There are many different factors that could be playing outside of the man just being a dirty man.
You want to be a lawyer? Because
I liked law. I liked law a lot in
'cause,
school.
like, you're defending him real hard, boy.
No, I ain't defending him.
I think he's trying to understand
the conversation about bigamy altogether, it just comes up because of this man. I don't know the facts in this case, but we always talk about laws being archaic, and we always talk about whether or not how certain things should be applied. Because now I'm curious, what are the sentencing guidelines for bigamy? What is the jail time? If it is that there's jail time or is that a fine?
Yeah.
Because then we see more serious crimes having less penalties.
I mean, then there's a sentencing guideline. So
That's
the
what I
judge, right? So the judge will determine whether or not it's custodial or monetary. But I think it's important to note as well. I feel like there was a bit of dishonesty somewhere, because why then would they tell him to not speak with the virtual complainant?
I think that's the general rule when somebody files
Maybe
a
to not
report.
threaten her and everything.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have contact with her.
Right. So that's why I feel that there was a bit of dishonesty.
I think
What do you mean?
Okay, you finish
No,
that and I will
like,
say,
okay. If there's an altercation between two people, they would tell you, don't talk to the other person. If it was a consensual agreement and she knew what she was getting involved with, why then would they tell her?
Which she?
The virtual complainant.
Well, we
No,
don't-
it's the
The
virtual
virtual
complainant. It's not the.
ex-wife.
What was
Well,
it?
yeah, it has to be the
supposedly
ex-wife.
the
It has to be the
first
wife. The
The
first
first
wife.
wife.
It
Oh,
has
the
to be the
first.
first wife.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
She's
thought
the
it
one
was
who
the
reported it.
Yeah. Clearly based on the story.
Yeah.
virtual. Oh, right.
I
Yes,
think
yes,
the
yes.
question that
Sorry.
I have though is, when somebody applies for marriage, isn't a search done? Because that's what it is that I would have thought, that if the system somehow might have picked it up.
No, you just put it up on the courthouse.
What's the system
Wait,
here,
Right, so
Lisa?
this is it.
What is the
this is
system
it.
here,
I
Lisa?
am wondering how come it wasn't picked up?
Where? Okay, so from never been married, never went
Never
through the
tried.
process or anything, but from my memory, from other people's experiences, you have to apply, and it used to be stuck up outside the courthouse in town.
To
So
say that these persons are going to-
some people who want to know people business,
You know what?
they used to
should
just go
start
there
with-
every
they
week
should-
and just read.
They should start putting them in the newspaper.
Oh gosh, no.
No, you know, like when they have the dissolution of marriages,
Oh Lord.
persons know to avoid these sort of situations too.
I mean,
Listen.
or you could just not.
Because no, because
Sorry.
no. So because the reason why I'm saying, and I'm even trying to be funny here, had the first wife not brought it to maybe the court's attention or the law's attention, let's say the law's attention,
Mhm.
would he have been successful?
More than likely, yeah.
You would have just
'Cause-
left.
right.
Based on my theory, at least.
Right. So this is it. So in order to avoid it, so I'm putting myself in the position of the second wife, right?
Mhm.
She may not have known of this. She may have known that he was married, and she probably would have been under the assumption that they were divorced. So in order to avoid situations where women face embarrassment, and I'm just saying women, but it could be, you know, men as well, this happening too. In order for it, maybe there needs to be a bit more of a public notice in a sense, as opposed to just the courthouse.
Hmm.
I wonder where they put it now that they moved to Calico. If it's maybe the High Court upstairs, or if they put it sugars. I'm so sorry. If they put it but it's
Oh, sugars. Shiver me timbers.
you don't. You
Oh
don't.
gosh. I know. Sorry. You
maybe
were
he
saying.
somebody said Joshua said maybe he forgot he was married. Apart from Adam, not one man in the Bible had one wife.
Oh,
Was that
gosh.
speaking of like the Bible and what's not? Was that story with Putin? What is it go again? Vladimir Putin over the weekend. Was it factual?
What was the story?
Something with was it the Vatican or discovering that Jesus was black and some photographs or something?
Oh, yeah, the photos in the vault. People are asking, why is it kept in a vault? That's
Okay,
suspicious.
so let's get the call now. I'm so sorry. Hello.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I looked at it and I'm like, this must be a big
No,
joke.
there are a lot of odd things happening in the world. There are a lot of things kept in some vaults. There are a lot of things kept hidden. There are movies that have been filmed that won't release until a few years down the road. There are a lot of strange things happening.
But even you know that they always say that there are missing books from the Bible.
But
I've always
They're
I've-
available on
it is
Amazon,
true.
though.
And Jesus cannot be white. It don't make
Well,
any
I've heard
sense.
that. I've heard that as well.
If it is that Israel is where Israel, Jerusalem is where Jesus is from and grew up, and based on history, how is it possible that he is white?
What if Jesus had locks?
And also the depiction of Jesus that we see every day, it's just a regular European man, Leonardo da Vinci's boyfriend or lover.
Excuse me?
Look it up.
No, I feel like you're
Look
going to
it
take
up.
me down a rabbit
Look it
hole
up.
here. Next time they're going to tell me how he was bleaching. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you guys. Seems as though you all are still bubbling after the Easter weekend and so on. How you doing, Christal? How you doing, Lisa and Ari?
We
Morning,
good.
Dave.
Morning.
All right, for the time being, how are you?
Well, fair to fine. But
Sound
let me
like a weather
commend. Hello?
You sound like a weather report.
All right. I hear you. Let me commend that interview this morning with that guy. I feel so happy. You know, I heard of him, guy who is in charge of some museum in New York City,
Atiba,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel good. I knew the Edwards them in Stony Ground years ago and so on, but I don't know which is which. I always feel good when I hear Vincentian could rise to such status in well, not a foreign country, but the number one country in the world. And congratulations to you, guy. I don't know who you are, but I mean, and I love your. I just love your story and how you understand. Because some of us go to New York and you want to bring back New York here and that sort of thing. But you seem to be well familiar and well cultured and all of that. Never mind, you are only 1 year old. That reminds me of the girls' high school student. She had just started high school here. I can't remember, but she went to the States because they run from Suffrage, put it that way. They run from Suffrage in 79 here already. Maybe not on the station. I think the title is Abbott. And she rose to such height since she was a nurse. That's her training, her profession, and she was able to fly as a nurse for President Clinton at the time. I don't know if you guys know the story, but she was she left St. Vincent during the 79 eruption and so on, and rose to such height. So anytime I hear these stories, anyhow, I must say I am disappointed. That was my only disappointment. St. Vincent and the Grenadines athletic team failed to medal. And I want those people who are associated or affiliated where our sports are concerned. You see, I hope what was demonstrated, those of us who are the privileged to see what went on, we ain't ready yet. We have a lot of work to do. Oh
God, man.
Why don't,
That's all you said. They failed to medal. I know they didn't bring back any medals, right? But Kyo came in fourth.
You guys forget how races work. People have to fall into certain positions, and not every time we get medals. And there are athletes who train much harder. There's raw talent. There's all these different excuses. Reality.
Oh God.
It's reality.
According to your standard.
When Jamaica make clean sweep, the US don't be saying, we ain't get no medal. Let us be a lesson to all.
I mean, a song like that. This is it, year. This is it. Johnny come lately, I've been involved in sports for, I don't know why my name is on the record, book and so on. But I have been involved in sports for a very, very long time. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we may not have had it like how Jamaica had it, but we have had outstanding sports people in the past. So all my talk is to encourage those who are working with our young athletes. Let them aim. Let them, they have to change whatever objective. Aim for the highest. Because Jamaica, after 38 years, you mean to say, we can't study Jamaica and know what to do? Why Jamaica has to be dominating for, a show, maybe when I reach 40 years, they might give up. But my thing is to enjoy.
I said investments on the fruits of their labor.
Yeah. So why? So we can't find formula? You're supposed to, you're responsible. Those of us who are responsible for what we are doing have to be held accountable. So to all you coaches, Lord of Mercy, boy, Lord of Mercy was my schoolmate, and I know he made it big way athletics. And then the other thing is, one thing I must commend Vincent for, I hear for this year, parents came out with the children to support like how Jamaica does it. And I think that's a positive sign. So I just wanted to say that. And on my Easter, I learned so much over this last Easter weekend that I had. Really full. There's so much more I have to say, but time.
Yes,
all
sir.
Right,
we gotta go now. Yeah. All right, thank you so much. Can't believe it's now 9:52.
And let me say this to the athletes: don't feel discouraged, please. These things happen. There are people with better training facility. There are people that just have raw talent. There are people that go sometimes 10 hours training. There are people that have strict dietary restrictions. You can't just say is the coach's fault and I
haven't actually been following it, but I did see somebody make a post yesterday about having the limited athletes running so many events. I don't know whether or not that is a fact. I don't have a reason to doubt the person.
It was 18 of them.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it was a case of maybe there weren't enough to spread out for different events. So,
it's what you qualify for too.
Yeah,
right?
you can. You need to remember that people have to fall into places. You cannot have 5 people tying for first place. They're realistic. But I just want to say quickly, because we're way over time. I think St. Vincent is the number one country. It's funny how we quick to say St. Vincent we're number one per capita for murder. But then you're quick to also say, oh, well, America is the number one country in the world. We don't have terrorist attacks. We don't have the kind of things happening in America happening in St. Vincent, but we're quick to pull down St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Hey, Runa, land of the blessed. The athletes going to get back up. They go into overtime, get to the place where they need to be. And I support them.
And I mean, the thing too is that there are the sporting facilities are now there. So maybe having these athletic, like the St. Vincent Beach Stadium, etc. Even the plans from the Football Association. These are the things that are going to help to get them maybe more up to an international standard. So let's give it some time. But for me, I would want to. I mean, I'm not involved in sports really, but let's give it some time.
I mean, I think considering everything that they're doing really well, I don't know if you'd permit me like 30 seconds to just give them a shout out. So Cara Kessian, Shakina, Jada, Jeremy, Damari, Christian, Tyra, Keo, Tedri, Timothy, Ajay or AJ, Jahern, Jamar, Zikri, Matthew, Javia, Devonrick, Henrique, and the coaches Michael and Mali.
I applaud you for trying to pronounce people's names in these times.
And so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for joining us this morning. We're way over time. We have to do the community dateline right now and get straight into the news in brief. This is Ari signing out.
I'll be here still. So see y'all in a few.
See y'all tomorrow.